Hey guys, Mike Sigula here from truththeory.com, and today I want to talk about meditation and how it changed my life. Let's start by explaining what is meditation. Meditation is just a practice that can help you to calm your mind, reduce your thinking, and experts agree that we have up to 80,000 thoughts a day, with 95% of them repetitive, and up to 80% of our thoughts are negative. So we are wired for negativity. We tend to overthink what's going to happen in the future, what happened in the past, and stress and overthinking creates all sorts of challenges with our health, for example, because our thinking process is linked to hormones and hormonal imbalance, which in result creates all sorts of health illnesses and other conditions. So there are many different types of meditation, and they are designed for different purposes. So there are meditations that have to do with visualization, there are meditations that have to do with affirmation, chanting, there are meditations that have to do with imagining emotional states. There are so many different techniques, but we will focus on the most basic and general meditation, which is mindfulness meditation, or a method that just helps you to calm your mind. So I've been meditating for more than 12 years, and I can see a lot of benefits. It doesn't mean you have to meditate for 12 years to see the same things. It's just that, some of the things like intuition, for example, can be developed a little bit farther, and the more you're going to meditate, the more your intuition is going to become stronger, for example. So let me give you a couple of benefits that I've noticed and I experienced from my meditative practices over the years. So like the simple one is, when you meditate, it can help you to refresh your mind. So let's say if you do anything that requires your mental focus, you have a job or you study where you constantly need to be focused on something, you start meditating, you take a break for like 15-20 minutes, you come back and your mind is fresh and you can keep going for much longer. So that's just one basic benefit. But another really interesting thing that I noticed over the years is intuition. My intuition improved significantly. When you meditate, you kind of block your rational mind and you tune into your intuition, into your subconscious, to your superconscious, call it whatever you want to call it. But what it does, you are becoming more in this state of knowing rather than relying on your external and rather than relying on your senses. So, for example, one of my favorite authors, Yuval Noah Harari, who wrote a book called The Sapiens that sold several million copies, he says he's been meditating for many years, at least 15-20 years, around 2 hours a day, where he believes that this is like, meditation can help him to see things more clearly, to see reality in a much more clearer way. And also he believes that without meditation he would not be able to write his book or his books in such a way. So I like to use this analogy of water in the pond being muddy. So you think about, if you have water in the pond that is full of mud, you cannot really clearly see through it, right? You cannot see fish or stones on the bottom or anything like that. So what meditation does is to clear that water so you can see clearly through through it. And it's the same thing with your mind. All those negative thoughts, all the overthinking, it just becomes more clear and balanced, so you can see clearly, and you can kind of, another benefit is that you can detach yourself from situations and be less reactive. So what I mean by that, let's say someone triggers you, maybe a person on the street, maybe someone in your family, and instead of straight away reacting and attacking or whatever the reaction would be, getting angry, you actually you detach yourself and you observe the situation and you start thinking of it maybe more rationally without jumping into it straight away. You might think, oh, maybe he's having a bad day, let me not react to it. So that's one of the benefits as well of meditation. It helps you to kind of detach and look at the things from outside perspective, or helps you to think outside of the box a lot. So another really interesting benefit that I've noticed that meditation helps me with is creativity. So because you are able to look at the things from this outside perspective, you can think outside of the box more. You can actually come up with solutions to problems that are a lot more creative. So creativity, I think it's a major part of meditation as well. So it is important to remember that when you meditate, it doesn't mean that all the negative thoughts are going to disappear. I mean, we all have stressful periods and stressful situations, and we all overthink and analyze things. It can just help you with reducing that, keeping yourself more balanced. So where do we start? If you are new to meditation, you have to remember a couple of things. So, as with any skill, you have to give it a go for a couple of weeks. It's not something that you're going to try 2 times, 3 times, and it's going to work for you. You need to think about it long term. And obviously, the first 3 weeks are the hardest because you're trying to do something new that you're not familiar, not comfortable with, and that's the hardest period. So you have to go for it and stay consistent, and then hopefully you're gonna get there. So I would suggest start with something simple like 5-10 minutes a day, focusing on your breath with your eyes closed and sitting somewhere comfortably so no one can disturb you. Or you can start using some guided meditations that we will include below this video. I've been using a bunch of different ones. I use a guided meditation that is called grounding meditation that I will also include the link to below this video. If you think about it, we all have challenging lives, and stress is part of our lives. But whenever you are stressed, you cannot just suddenly switch things off and go on holidays to relax yourself. But what you can do, you can incorporate meditation into your daily routines. So you could, for example, meditate every day. And once you learn it, it becomes like a habit. So, the same way like you brush your teeth every day, you don't even think about that. It can be the same with meditation. You just do it 15 minutes, done. The more you meditate, the more benefits you can start seeing. So some people, like I used to meditate up to 1 hour a day or more. And the more I was meditating, the more everything starts working better. So like your intuition, you start getting yourself in a flow of synchronicities, and it just becomes easier for you to navigate through things. You become more intuitive. But these are things that you develop over a long period of time. It's not something that just, a few weeks and you're going to suddenly become, all-knowing or anything like that. But if you're gonna continue for a couple of years, you will see that the benefits will be tremendous. So thanks for tuning in, and hope I encouraged you to start meditating.